All right, let's start. We'll begin in mountain pose. Welcome, everybody. A little noontime yoga here. Just go ahead and make your way up to the top of your mat. Just take a few moments just to continue to prepare for our practice, making our full arrival here. You might start with a few deep breaths. Nice full audible inhale and an audible exhale. Perhaps again a nice full breath in, just to experience the dynamic of your breath, and exhale, release. Good, and just settle into steady breaths here. Mindful breathing. Just continue to connect, move inward. Excellent. As you're breathing, you might assess how you're feeling today. You might add some movement to your body, just as a way of checking in with how you're feeling. So maybe a movement of your head and neck, down through your shoulders, your arms and hands. Work your way down your torso to your hips, your back. Down your legs, checking in with your knees and your feet. Good. Just to add more awareness to your breath, when you inhale, just feel your breath rising upward, filling up your lungs, a nice expansive feeling in your chest. And as you exhale, as you're able, draw your belly button in towards your spine, a light contraction of your abdominal muscles. This engages the abdominal lock. Awareness of your center, your core body. Again, a breath in, feeling the lengthening of your spine, breath rising to fill your lungs. Good, and your exhale, draw belly in. Doesn't have to be too strong of a pull, but just that awareness of your center. Our practice will focus on a particular pose. It's called side plank or Vashisthasana, sometimes known as the pose of excellence. So really that's your invitation, just to move in a way that feels best to you. Move accordingly to how you're feeling today. So that might mean modifying some poses as you need to, resting whenever you need to. Let's take 3 more breaths, using these breaths to generate more energy in the body and to prepare your body to move. When you're ready, inhale and extend your arms overhead and just treat it like a nice stretch. Reach all the way up. And exhale, fold forward, so a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to, and just guide your way down towards your toes. Now, you don't have to touch your toes. Maybe your hands land at your shins. And inhale, slide your hands up the legs a bit, perhaps to your knees, and extend your spine, only halfway lifting. Then exhale, either stay here or fold again back down towards your toes. Again, a partial fold is fine. Or if you just bend your knees more and it feels okay on your back and your legs, go all the way down. Just hang heavily forward if that feels good. You can always modify this pose. If you're deep in this standing forward fold, you can always walk your way up the legs and just modify the folding posture. And wherever you are, just notice how this feels. That stretch and lengthening through your legs, down through your spine and back. Maybe releasing your head and your neck. Maybe your shoulders there too. I might invite you to maybe circle the shoulders a few times, backward, then forward, circles. Side plank pose does work our upper body, okay? Chest, arms, shoulders. So let's just bring awareness and attention to this area of the body. Let's return to a halfway lift. So inhale and slide your hands back up to your shins or knees, rising halfway. We'll hold on the exhale right here, making sure the feet feel flat on the ground. Nice, sturdy positioning of the feet. Slight bend in the knees and the continued extension of the torso. Finishing the standing process, shift your weight back into your heels, bend your knees to lower your hips like you're sitting down into a low chair. Then lift your chest, extend your arms out to the side, then inhale and rise up, reach into the air, and exhale, bring your arms down to your side. Let's go back to the awareness of the shoulders for a moment. So maybe some circles here with the shoulders, a few times backward, and then forward. Good. Let's go through that half salute once again. When you're ready, inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Good energy in your hands and fingers. Exhale, fold forward. Again, a good hinge from your hips. Yes, bend your knees, make your way down, a partial or a full fold. Inhale, rise up halfway to slide your hands up the legs until you rise up halfway to your flat back. Exhale, stay here or fold, back down. Same weight shift into the heels, bend your knees to lower hips. Lift chest outward with the arms. Inhale, float all the way back up. Reach into the sky. Energy through your fingers. Exhale, arms return to your side. Good. Just pause here for a moment. Continue checking in. We'll just continue with our sun salute. A reminder just to move at your own pace. Take your time. Rest whenever you need to. Here we go. Inhale, reaching out and up. Big stretch. Exhale, fold forward. Guiding your way down, moving with breath. Inhale, rise up halfway to our flat back. I'll sometimes call it monkey pose. This exhale, we're folding. Bend your knees a lot so you can place your hands on your mat out in front of you. And just step or walk or even hop both feet back to the back end of your mat. I'm just going to lower the hips so they're about shoulder level. This is the beginning of our side plank pose. Of course, this is just plank pose. Just be sure your hands are pressing firmly into the floor, your arms feel straight and strong. Even feel like you're trying to push yourself farther away from the floor. Let's take a breath in and exhale, bend your knees a little, send your hips into the air. This is our shortcut to downward facing dog. You might need to adjust your feet, even your hands on your mat to help you settle into the pose. You can hold in stillness or add movement in your body. A little bend of the knees to help pedal the feet perhaps, getting a stretch through your calves and your toes. Yeah, feel the knees bend, your hips might even shift side to side. Just again, awareness of the upper body. Maybe spread out your fingers a bit more, press firmly down into the mat, even more towards your thumbs, your index fingers, more towards the center or the inside portion of your palm. Sometimes we roll to the outside portion of the hand in this pose. We're going to take a break. Bring your knees to the floor and sit back into child's pose. We're going to give ourselves many breaks in this practice just because we're going to be on our hands quite a bit because we're doing plank and side plank. You can even make this an active child's pose, meaning just feel like the hips are moving to your feet or heels or even to the back edge of your mat while your hands are trying to reach forward like you're crawling forward. So you feel that lengthening through the sides of your body. Let's just take 2 more breaths here. Let's come back up to hands and knees. And while we're here, let's take cat and cow. So an inhale, just to tip the chin up or look forward. You're arching your back, so you're creating a back bend. So this is cow pose. Exhale, tuck your pelvis under so you can feel your belly button pull up towards spine. Feel the curvature of the spine and chin tucks in towards chest. That's cat. Inhale, reverse it, tip the pelvis back. Belly drops, there's the arching of the back. Open your heart, look forward. Exhale, round it all out. Just keep flowing like this. Now, whenever we come to a down dog or any posture that we're on our hands a little too long, you might come down 2 hands and knees or even sit back into hero pose just to take the pressure off the hands and wrists. Finish the breath that you're on and take 2 more. Just finish in this tabletop position. Here, you'll step your hands forward just a little bit, and as you step them forward, do spread out your fingers pretty wide. Just get in the habit, perhaps, of feeling a stretch between each finger here and making a broader base with your hands. Now tuck your toes under. Do one more cat-cow flow. So inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Hold cat, and then just lift your knees and hips into the air, downward facing dog. Once here, take a breath in. Exhale, walk, step, or hop. Both feet return to the top of the mat. You'll be in forward fold. Inhale, extend through spine, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold. Weight shift into your heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Let's come all the way back up, reaching high. We're going to keep this moving. On the exhale, take chair pose, Utkatasana, or a chair-like position, like so. Outstretched arms. You don't have to sit down too deeply. You can stay up high. Let's even change arm posture here. Just bend your elbows, yeah, like so. And as you bring them down, also pull them back a little bit. So this feels like an opening across the chest, yeah. Just so you can feel, hopefully, some engagement in your back body and even that stretch across the chest, shoulder to shoulder. Let's inhale, re-extend arms, then exhale, dive out of chair pose, down towards toes. Release head, neck, and shoulders. Let's continue. Inhale, rise up halfway to monkey pose, our long, flat back. Exhale, fold, bend your knees, hands to the floor. Hop or step back, plank pose. Hold for a moment. Hips about shoulder level, so not too high, not too low. Now, we're probably not going to do too many chaturangas. You're welcome to do them, but I probably won't cue them. So here, take another shortcut with your exhale to down dog. Bend your knees, send your hips into the sky. Adjust the feet and hands as needed. Again, spread out your fingers. Press into the mat. Press more towards your thumb and index finger on both hands. That's it. Inhale now to extend your right leg up behind you. Reach long. Exhale, send right foot up to the top of the mat and land behind the right hand. Turn your left heel to the floor behind you, shifting your weight back into that left foot behind you so you have good balance between the feet. Hands should feel light now, so you can reach forward, hinge from hips, and rise up. Let's pause for a moment in Warrior One. We're going to do the same thing. Bend elbows to 90 degrees. Gently pull back. The image I have here is, imagine you have a pencil along your spine. You're trying to hold on to the pencil, perhaps up and down the spine. And again, you might feel that stretch across the chest here, shoulder to shoulder. Okay. Let's breathe in to extend the arms up. And exhale, let's go ahead and open it to a Warrior Two. Now you might need to, adjust your feet. Again, good balance. Right knee and toes pointing forward. Nice and tall, outstretched arms, active fingers, yeah? Let's follow the right arm forward, angle the upper half of the body. You've got it. Rotate the arms, reach down, reach up. Now you don't have to go down too low. You can actually stay up pretty high in this pose. Now this is the making of our side plank, okay? Because shortly we'll be doing this same posture, but with our hand on the floor. Let's take a breath in, and exhale, we'll turn and fold, hands down to the mat. Let's step back into plank pose. Again, hips at shoulder level. I say that so you don't feel like you're sinking in your center like this, but keeping the hips high. Take another shortcut to down dog with your exhale. Bend your knees, send your hips into the air. Make some adjustments with your feet and hands as you need to. Then inhale to extend left leg up and back, reach long. Exhale, send left foot now to the top of the mat. Once you've landed, turn right heel to the floor behind you. Make a good connection to the earth. Shifting the weight back that direction so your hands are light. You can hinge your way up to our Warrior One. We'll hold here. Don't forget to bend elbows, bring them down, pull back, squeeze the pencil, and then open the heart. Nice hip flexor stretch to go along with this. Nice lunge happening here, but also that attention and awareness of the upper body. Let's inhale, extend the arms up and open to our Warrior Two. Adjusting the feet so you have better balance. There you go. That's it. Feeling tall, outstretched arms. Here comes our side angle. Reach out, tip it over, rotate the arms, reach high and low. So we're creating this sideways positioning of the body. Nice and open. So if you feel like your heart is falling towards the ground, even if your fingertips are touching the ground, what you may want to do is lift up, maybe away from the ground a little bit, and really have your heart open directly to the right side of the room. Let's breathe in And exhale, now we'll turn towards the floor. Hands to the mat, step back, left foot, plank pose, hips at shoulder level, strong hands, strong straight arms. Let's bring the knees to the floor here. Let's take a break, sit back into hero. You can do this anytime in the practice if you need to change this force flex of the hands to something more mild. You might want to do a little stretch. I like to do a gentle press into the floor or into opposite hands or even circles and wiggle the fingers. Whenever you need to do that, go ahead and do that for your hands and wrists. From here, when you're ready, let's take a seat, swing the legs around to the front. Go ahead and roll down onto your back. Let's bring knees into chest. Use some movement here just to massage the back and hips. Circle the feet. Circling outward and inward. Flex, point. If you can wiggle your toes, wiggle your toes. You can even do the same with the hands again if you need to. We're moving to bridge pose. Let's just get a back bend in here. Let's plant the feet into the ground. Here you do want to feel like you were standing so the feet feel solid on the ground. Take a nice full breath in, fill up your lungs. You can exhale through the mouth to feel the air leave your belly, feel that engagement, and just peel away from the floor. So hips lift. And once you have lifted away from the ground, as you're able, rock your upper body left and right several times, trying to get the shoulders a bit underneath you, even your arms. Same idea of imagining you're squeezing a pencil along the spine. You might even feel that similar stretch sensation through the chest and shoulder area. Rooting the feet into the earth, feeling the legs engage. It'll be both the thighs, kind of the top portion or the front portion of the legs, and underneath, hamstrings, glutes. Coming out of the pose, wiggle the feet forward a little bit, extend your arms straight up, that'll get the shoulders out from underneath you, and then slowly, carefully roll your way down to the ground. Once you've landed, let's extend the legs out front and reach the arms behind you to create a nice stretch here. Nice. Re-engaging the body. Let's bring knees into chest. Start a gentle rock forward and back to rock up to seated. Another option to come to seated is just to roll to one side like this and just press yourself up. And we'll come to boat pose. So lots of ways of doing boat. This is one way. I like to start this way sometimes is keep the knees bent, heels on the floor, feet flexed. Hold on underneath the legs as a way to lengthen the spine. So you might be nice and tall, but we do want to lean back. That's our boat pose. That leaning back quality adds more tension or helps to activate our core system to help hold us in place. Now you can continue holding on to the legs or you can free your hands if you want. You can certainly lean back more and lift the feet for your boat pose. Okay. We're going to move from here. Breathe in. And exhale, maybe cross legs if you can, hands in front or hands to the side. We're just getting the feet back behind us. We're just going back to plank pose right here. Let's get into our first version of side plank. Let's start by setting the right knee onto the floor, directly underneath the hip. If you need to pad this knee, maybe fold your mat underneath it if you have a thinner mat. I'm tapping the right foot because I'm going to send my right foot out to the right side. I call this the kickstand. You can always change that angle. This will help with balance. Putting weight into my right hand so I can free the left and just open up sideways. So you can see and feel how this might be familiar or similar to our side angle pose. Okay, now we're just doing a side plank pose, variation with the knee on the floor. You can always do it this way. Here's some things to add on to it. Imagine you're wearing a belt and your belt buckle, you want to kind of push forward towards that left wall. Yes, because this is a hip opener, especially with the knee on the floor like that. Left hand reaching into the air. If your shoulder is tired at all or injured, you can even just bring that arm to your side. Do flex the left foot. You'll be on the inside edge of the foot on the floor. You can certainly lift the foot, but just an option at this moment. Yes. Okay, we're going to move. Breathe in. Exhale, we're turning, bringing the left hand to the floor, left knee to the floor. Bring your kickstand back in. We'll be back in cat and cow. If you need to get off the hands, take a rest or move into cat-cow. Just a few movements through the spine and hips. And we'll get ready for the other side. All right, one more cat-cow. We're going to make a kickstand with the left foot now. Just swing the left foot off to the side. We'll put weight onto that left hand so we can extend the right leg back since we're on the knee. Toes can stay on the floor, but then open up sideways. And just like I mentioned in our side angle pose, we're creating that completely sideways posture where your heart is opened directly to the right side of the room in this case, and you're not, doesn't feel like you're falling towards the earth. We need to activate our center, so that's our imaginary belt buckle that you're pushing forward. Yes, that'll open you up more, it opens the hips more. Nice dramatic reach of the right hand into the air, flexing the right foot, which can stay on the floor or lift if you'd like. Breathe in, wonderful. On the exhale, slowly return to the earth with the right hand, right knee, bring the kickstand back in. Just 2 breaths, cat and cow, just to realign the body. After that second one, go ahead and sit back into hero just to get off the hands and do any relief work you need for your wrist. Wiggle your fingers, whatever you want to do, okay? So again, we're going to be on our hands quite a bit in this sequence today. Check in with your shoulders. All right, when you're ready, no rush, you're going to make your way back out to hands and knees. I like to step the hands forward a little bit so we get the hands out from underneath the shoulders. Spread out your fingers. One more cat-cow. Hold cat for a second, tuck toes so you can lift knees, then hips, a return to down dog. Just the reminders, fingers are wide. You're getting a stretch between each finger. Press more towards thumbs and index fingers. Strong arms. Your chest and head kind of sink naturally between the arms. Let's continue with lunges. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. Back to our warrior one. Yes. Once you've landed, turn left heel to the floor. Take your time with that. Find lightness in the hands so you can rise up. Exhale, open to warrior two. Adjust the feet. Good side angle pose. Reach out. Angled upper body, rotate the arms. Completely sideways. Okay, heart opening to the left side of the room. That might mean rising up away from the floor. Inhale here. Exhale, it's turn, fold, hands return to the earth. Slide right foot back to meet the other. There's our plank pose. You'll just pause for a second. Right away, down dog. Okay, just taking the shortcut right away to down dog. Adjust the feet and hands. I'm going to keep reminding you to spread out your fingers, press more towards thumbs and index fingers, strong straight arms. Even imagine you're trying to hold on to something between your arms, like between the forearms or elbows. So there's kind of this hugging in sensation. Other leg, inhale, extend left leg into the air, and then left foot to the top of the mat. Good, I like these adjustments. Right heel to the floor behind you, finding your center, rising up, first warrior, and exhale, opening to your warrior two. Adjusting the feet for a strong foundation. Side angle pose, we're moving out, tip it over, rotate the arms, reach high and low, completely sideways here. Even imagine there was a wall behind you, and you're trying to lean back into that wall. Just like in that side plank pose, I said, wear that belt buckle and push the belt buckle forward. You're doing the same thing here. Breathe in. Exhale, turn, fold, hands to the floor. Back to our plank pose, strong straight line. Another shortcut to down dog. You can always go through a full vinyasa, but I'll be guiding us mostly through those shortcuts. Take a nice full breath in. Exhale, walk, step, or hop both feet back up to the top of the mat to your forward fold. Inhale, long, flat back, lifting up halfway. Exhale to fold. Weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Yeah, coming all the way up, reach high. Exhale, arms down to your side. Okay, good job. Just check in with your neck, shoulders. All righty. Okay, we're going to do some. I'm going to have you go to the wall in a moment, but I'll try to demonstrate it here first. I'm going to try to get it on video as well here too. So what we'll do on the wall is we're going to do this pose or this arm formation, but on the wall. Okay, so the elbow, forearm, and hand will be against the wall. You want to push into the wall. okay? In a way where you kind of broaden the back expands, rather than this kind of feeling, okay? You want to feel like you're pushing the wall away, but you're going to have this angled arm, and you kind of broaden the back. So you're going to be here, almost get into a lunge situation here. I'm pushing into the wall. Rather than collapsing, push. That broad upper back sensation. And with that exhale I just did, I'm just engaging core, okay? So pushing, broadening, engaging. So go ahead and find some wall up there, over here, okay? You want to get into this position like you were trying to push down the wall, okay? So just bent arms, 90 degrees. You might want to step 1 foot back. You'll just have to bring the arms down a little bit, okay? And then push. When you feel like you're moving, it's the whole arm, not just your elbow, but you want to sense the forearm and hands, mostly the hands, pushing into the wall. So if you need to slide the hands down, do that. Push so you can feel that broadening of the back rather than a collapse in the back. Once you've got that in place, you're breathing, and that exhale to engage core, pulling belly button in towards spine. Okay, so you're push that wall down, pushing that wall down, engaging, yes? Stay here, but now the added sense is, yeah, there you go. Feeling like you're squeezing something between your elbows so that even though you're pushing into the wall, feel like your biceps maybe, since they're free, kind of like they're hugging inward. See if there's any new sensation that comes with that. 2 more breaths. Don't forget the exhale and draw belly button in. After the second breath, just soften, release, and come away from the wall. Okay, and go back to your mat. Remember that sensation because you're going to be doing that in plank pose. Okay, a similar sensation. Alrighty. So just kind of loosen things up. And we'll get ready to flow from here. Here we go. Inhale, reaching high. Let's take chair pose again. Exhale, chair pose. Let's do that same elbow bend, but pull back. It's going to feel very different from the arms in front, right? Arms pulled back, squeezing to engage the upper back, that stretch and opening across the chest. Inhale, stay here. Then exhale, now we'll just dive out to forward fold. Monkey pose, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold, bend your knees a lot. Plant your hands into the mat, spread out your fingers before they plant, and then step back into plank pose. Strong, straight arms. Hold for a moment. Gently bring knees to the floor. We're going to mimic what we just did on the wall. So bring knees to the floor so we can bring the elbows down to the floor. Okay? Now it's okay if the arms aren't completely or accurately parallel to each other. If you need to bring the palms in towards each other a little bit, that's fine. Now if you sit back, you're going to have more weight in your elbows. But if you shift the body weight forward, you'll put more weight in the hands. You want that, yes. Okay? Now here, we're going to pick up the knees. So we're going to be on our toes. Make sure the hips feel slightly lifted at shoulder level. Push down into the ground to feel that broadening of the back like you did when you were pressed into the wall. Exhale, pull belly button up towards spine. Okay, this is another style of plank. I call it dolphin plank because if we stepped forward and the hips were in the air, we'd be in dolphin pose. Let's bring the knees back down to the ground. Sit back briefly in child's pose. You can make this a little softer. It doesn't have to be too active, okay? Just so you can feel those changes in the body from a very active dolphin plank pose to a little softer child's pose. Yeah, good. We'll get ready for another flow. We're going to make our way back to this dolphin plank. Take 2 more breaths where you are. Take your time to rise back up to hands and knees. Same setup. Spread out your fingers. Step the hands forward. Tuck toes. Cat-cow. When you're in cat, hold cat so you can lift knees, then hips. You'll be in down dog. Chest sinks between the arms. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you. Same sequence. Right foot to the top of the mat. Back to our warrior one setup. Left heel to the floor. Find that centering. Light hands rise up. Exhale, opening to your warrior two. Adjusting the feet. Maybe a slightly wider stance if you want to. Side angle. Reach out, tip it over. Stay completely sideways. While in the sideways pose, imagine the belt buckle. Push forward. If you feel like you're feeling your bum push backward to the wall behind you, okay, that's an indicator to send the pelvis forward. Just a little change. Breathe in. Exhale, turn, fold, hands to the floor, step back, plank. Hold plank for a moment to align the body. Gently set the knees onto the floor. Take the weight off the hands so you can come back down to your forearms like you did earlier. Same thing. Arms can be parallel, or if they need to, you can bring hands in a little closer. Shift forward so you have more weight towards hands and fingers. When you're ready, onto your tiptoes again. Lift the knees. You might need to step back a little bit so your hips are at shoulder level. You're pushing down to feel the broad upper back. You're exhaling to pull belly button in. Yes. Squeeze your biceps towards each other, or attempt to, or imagine to. Nice. Set the knees back down. Okay, come back up onto your hands. You're going to return to down dog. Take your time as you need to here, yes? Return to down dog so we can do the same thing other side. Here we go. Inhale, extend left leg up and away. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. I love that. Right heel to the floor. Root and connect. Find balance. Rise up. First warrior. Exhale, opening to warrior two. Maybe more distance between the feet if that feels okay. Side angle. Reach out. Tip it over. Rotate the arms. Opening completely sideways, pelvis is pushing forward. Good extension through the arms. A nice active right hand as you're able. There it is. Good. Here we go. Breathe in. Exhale, turn. Return to the earth. Plant the hands. Slide left foot back. There's plank. Just hold for a moment for that realignment. Same thing. Knees to the ground. Elbows to the ground. Set yourself up for our dolphin plank. Weights towards hands and fingers. Up onto the tiptoes. Just extend the legs back. Make sure the hips aren't sinking too low, but certainly not too high. We're not in dolphin. We're in dolphin plank, so more of a straight line. Push into the earth with the forearms and hands. Feel the broad back. Squeeze to center with the biceps as best as you can. Okay, let's take a break. Bring knees to the floor. As you're able, sit back into hero pose. Alrighty, let me demonstrate side plank on the arm, okay? So just watch, I'm gonna do my right arm. So I'm gonna get set up here. I'm gonna take my right arm, which is parallel to the edge of the mat, but I'm gonna turn it in at an angle. This is just gonna help with my balance. So you can change this, okay? So I'm putting some weight forward, lifting up. You can see this left hand is just to help support my body. I'm turning to the left side, okay? Turning so my legs are stacked for the moment. You can even stagger the feet, stagger the legs as you need to. But to keep them straight, flex your feet. There. We're opening up. Pelvis, belt buckle, pushing forward. Hip lifting. Left hand reaching up, rooting into the floor. I'm just pushing into the earth with the arm. Stacked or staggered. We're going to return. Take a break in child's pose. All right, let's give it a shot. Okay, let's come out to hands and knees. Let's bring elbows to the floor. We're going to move right away to right side plank. So what you might do is just slide this left hand back like so. Turn the right arm in so it's at an angle. You can change that as you need to. I'm extending the legs back so I'm on my toes. Then starting to open up towards the left side of the room. So you're resting on the right arm. Legs will turn. Make sure they're straight and strong. Yes, you can bring the right leg to the floor. I didn't say that. You can bring the leg to the floor if you need a little bit more stability. Stack the feet or stagger the feet. Flex the feet to keep them strong. Pelvis is pushing forward towards the window. Left hand reaching up, left hip lifting up. You've got it. Breathe in. Exhale carefully, slowly return to the earth. Sit back, child's pose. Make it soft. Well done. Not an easy pose. child's pose or hero, whatever you need to do to help relieve the hands and maybe even your shoulders. Good job. Just doing your best. The pose of excellence. You're just doing your best. Okay, let's go back to our setup. So hands and knees. Bring your elbows to the floor. Slide the right hand back so you're on that palm, which will help you turn sideways. I'm just create an angle with the left arm. Lean forward in towards that left hand. Extending the legs back. There's our setup. This could even be the end of the pose right here. Let's start to turn sideways, even keeping the hand on the floor, or continue to open up completely, sending this right arm into the air. Don't forget, you could bring the left leg to the floor. It might be more at an angle, that's fine. So it's just resting on the ground underneath you. Pelvis is pushing forward. Right hip is lifting up towards the sky. Yes. Inhale, here we go. Exhale, careful return to the earth. Sitting back, child's pose. Soften the body. So it doesn't have to be too active. Or any other kind of restorative position. It could be hero. So you can move the arms and shoulders and elbows a little bit more freely as you, there you go. Good. 3 more breaths. We'll go to another flow here. Keep the body in motion. If you're in child's pose, maybe return to hands and knees. Step the hands forward, tuck your toes, take another cat-cow. When you get into cat, the exhale, tuck toes, lift knees and hips into the air, downward facing dog. Just going to do the exact same flow here. Inhale, extend right leg up. Let's open the hip here while we're in this posture. Yeah, so bend your right knee, bring your heel down towards your backside, a little lift of the knee, a little twist, making sure hands still pressing strongly into the floor, strong straight arms. Unwind from that twist, step forward, right foot to the top of the mat, left heel to the earth, find center. Let's rise up. Warrior 1, exhale, opening. Warrior 2, adjust the feet. Right away, side angle, reach out, stay sideways here as we tip over and extend the arms top to bottom. Keep it moving, breathe in, exhale, turn, fold, hands to the floor, step back, plank pose, hold plank. Soft knees, hips to sky, down dog. Adjust the feet and hands, other side. Inhale, extend left leg into the air. Let's create a hip opener. Bend your knee, little lift of the knee, feel the spine rotate, arms are straight and strong. Breathe in, exhale, unwind, send left foot to the top of the mat. Warrior 1, right heel to the earth. Find your center, rise up, exhale, open. Warrior 2, adjust feet, side angle pose, reach out, tip it over, staying completely sideways, pelvis is pushing forward, fully extended, arms top to bottom. Inhale. Exhale, our return to the earth, hands down, slide, left foot back, plank pose. Hold for a moment. Remember, hips are about shoulder level, pushing floor away from you, even a broad upper back. Core engagement. Rest, bring your knees to the floor, sit back, rest your hands. That's it. Okay, maybe hero pose so you can watch my demonstration. Okay, now we're getting to that Vashisthasana, side plank, the full version. Okay, we did the arm on the floor version, okay, which probably, it might even be a little harder than the regular version. Okay, so here's my plank pose. Putting weight over into my right side, I'm adjusting the feet so I can start to turn sideways. Now, if this is your pose today, even bring in a block right here, this is fine. Do straighten the legs as best as you can, flex the feet, but there's always the option of bringing knee to the floor, okay? If this is your pose today, this is perfect. Otherwise, we're opening up. So this is the version we did earlier with the knee on the ground. Otherwise, spinning open, strong straight legs, flexed feet, stacked or staggered, arm extension, careful not to sink here, lifting up. It's like you're pushing the floor away from you. Okay, pushing away. Bonus, flex this top foot, engaging the leg, lift. More bonus, bend this knee. Turn the knee towards the ceiling. Extend the leg. Fall. Okay. Lots of variations. Okay, we'll take a rest. We want to get off that hand. Okay. All right. Plank pose. Come back out to plank. We're going to do right side planks. We're going to open up towards the windows in a moment. Okay, tuck toes, lift knees, plank pose. Good. Okay, we're putting weight into the right hand. You're shifting weight to that side and turning sideways. Yeah, so straight legs, straight as can be. Flex the feet to engage the legs to keep them straight and strong. Stacked or staggered feet. Yes, right knee can come to the floor. Or if you need to, bring elbow or right arm to the floor to go back to that version. Belt buckle is still going out the window. Push forward through the hips. Left hips lifting up. Left hands reaching up. Bonus, flex the left foot, lift the leg. Extra bonus, turning knee towards ceiling and extend the leg. Yes. Look at that. Pose of excellence. Vashisthasana. Carefully return to the earth. Plank pose. Set the knees down. Take a break. Get off the hands. Breathe. Did you stop breathing through that? Excellent. Okay. So 3 bonuses. There's going to be 3 bonuses. First bonus is just lifting the leg. Okay. Second bonus is extending the leg. Third bonus, can you grab the big toe? Okay. And extend with the sound effect. Okay. All right. Yeah, check in with those hands, wrists, shoulders. When you're ready, no rush. Just make your way back out to plank pose. Vashisthasana. Left side plank. So left hand will stay on the floor. You can bring left knee to the ground. Okay, opening up sideways. Even if you don't open up completely, maybe a block on the floor in front of you there, and just prop yourself up. Yes. If you're using straight legs, be sure they are straight. If your knees are bent, you won't be stable. Straighten the legs, flex the feet, stacked or staggered. Right hip lifting up, pelvis pushing forward, arm extended. Bonus, lift the right leg. Second bonus, knee pointing towards ceiling, extend the leg. Third bonus, grab the big toe. Yes. Slowly and carefully return to the earth. Knees down, maybe sitting back into child's pose or any other restorative position to get off the hands. Make sure you give love to the left hand and wrist. Well done. Okay. Sitting here, finding breath. Yeah, shoulders too, right? Okay. We're going to go through a flow and just incorporate some of these poses you've been doing. Do your best. Sometimes your best, and especially in a situation like this, is maybe to skip, okay? So you don't harm. 2 more breaths. If you're in child's pose, come back up to hands and knees. We're just making our way to down dog. So same thing, you might step the hands forward a little bit, spread out your fingers, strong straight arms, cat and cow. When you get to the cat pose, tuck toes, lift knees, send hips into the air, down dog. Our lunge sequence, inhale, extend right leg up, bend and twist open. You'll unwind and step through, right foot to the top of the mat. Right away, warrior 1. Plant the left heel behind you, rising up. Opening to warrior 2. Quickly adjust the feet. Here comes side angle, reach out, tip it over. There's our sideways pose, yes? Nice extensions. Inhale, there it is. Exhale, turn. Let's bring the hands to the floor. Step back, plank pose. Stay in plank. Right side plank. Right hand stays on the floor. Opening up sideways towards the windows again. Use all those variations as you'd like, yes? Knee can be on the floor. Feet can be stacked or staggered. Add those leg extensions as you'd like. You've got it. Yes. Wonderful. Breathe in. Exhale, return to plank pose. Rest if you need to, otherwise keep going. Down dog. Take a shortcut to down dog. Yes? Inhale, extend left leg into the air. Bend and twist open. Unwind, step through, left foot to the top of the mat, back to our warrior 1. Plant the right heel down. We're rising up. Good openings there. Opening to warrior 2. Yes? Side angle, reach. Tip it over, rotate the arms. There's our sideways pose again. Breathe in. And exhale, return to the earth. Plant the hands, slide left foot back, plank, hold plank. Be sure you feel strong here so you can reopen to that side of the room, left side plank. Use your variations as needed. Stacked or staggered feet, yeah? Right hip lifting, pelvis pushing forward. You're breathing, yeah. Maybe extending the right leg into the air or just lifting the foot. You're just on the edge. Just think of it. You're on the edge of your left foot. That's amazing. Breathe in. Exhale, slow, careful return to plank pose. Child's pose. Bring knees to the floor. Sit back. Child's pose or maybe hero. Very dynamic in nature here. Just a few more breaths. We'll move into a closing sequence. From wherever you are, you'll eventually just make your way onto your back. So you might need to rise up to hero, swing the legs around to the front. Find yourself sitting in the center of your mat so you can roll down onto your back. Let's hug the knees in. So add some movement. Get into the back, your hips, your feet and ankles, even your hands and wrists again, fingers. Let's do one more bridge pose. When you're ready, plant the feet into the earth. Breathe in, fill up your lungs. Exhale through the mouth, engaging core. Peel away from the earth. Once again, getting the arms and shoulders underneath you. Squeeze the imaginary pencil along the spine. Just opening the front body here. Not here too long. 2 more breaths. Then wiggle the feet forward a little bit. Let's extend the arms into the air to release the shoulders out from underneath us. Roll down to the earth slowly. Make that connection. Extend the arms behind you. Extend the legs out in front of you. Reach in these opposite directions. Lift the arms so your hands are reaching up towards the ceiling for a moment. And then just slow them, bring them down to your side like you're in Shavasana. Let everything relax for a few seconds. Just melt, feel the legs fall open. Shoulders and arms just kind of really release here for a moment. Okay, now you're going to give yourself a hug. Okay? So you're going to bring your hands or arms and just kind of wrap your arms around yourself, and maybe you're holding on to each shoulder. Yeah, okay? Even feel like you're trying to creep the fingers towards your back body, so it's more, yeah. So a nice you're getting a stretch in your upper back as you wrap your arms around you. Just notice which arm is in front, okay? Or the one that's closest to your chin, perhaps. Okay, 2 more breaths. After the second breath, release the hug and then give yourself another hug, but change the arm position. It might feel odd because when you did your first hug, it felt more natural that way. Nice squeeze, hug, maybe a sensation kind of opening and in a way broadening your back because of this hold you've created. 2 more breaths. And release your hug. And just let the arms rest down by your side for a moment. Let's return to the lower half of the body. Let's draw the knees into chest. Maybe a hip opener here. Choose one that you like. Maybe it's happy baby pose. It could be reclining pigeon pose. Reclining cobbler's pose. So some different versions of some hip openers that you like, that you might need, or just any other movement or stretch. It doesn't have to be a yoga pose, just something that would feel good for the hips, inner legs perhaps. Three more breaths with your hip openers. From here, let's take the body into a twist. So you might hug both knees together and in towards your heart, and then send both knees over to the left side of the room while you extend your right arm to the right side of the room. That'll create that rotation in the spine, maybe a little stretch in the low back and hips. Deep breaths. Since we are coming to the close of the practice, make sure you do return to the awareness of these deep breaths. Get reacquainted with your deep breathing, because certainly in those very dynamic movements, especially side plank, we can kind of lose sight of the breath. We might even find ourselves holding the breath. Not intentionally though, it just happens sometimes. 2 more breaths on this first side. When you're ready, return to center. Hold center for a moment to allow the spine to realign. And then send the knees down to the right side. Extend left arm to the left. There's our twist. Deep breaths. Three more breaths. When you're complete, return to center. You might set the feet onto the floor, keep the knees bent. Pause for a moment and just check in with your body once again. If there's any other movement or pose or stretch that would feel good to you now, go ahead and move into those positions. If you feel complete with your practice, feel free just to extend the legs out front and rest calmly in Shavasana. So you have a couple of minutes here if you want to add some extra movements, if you desire. And when you do find your resting position, it could be Shavasana, where you're lying flat on the ground, but sometimes lying flat on your back isn't the most comfortable place to be. So if you need any props to help support that pose or move into a completely different posture, like lying on your side or sitting up, even sitting up against a wall if you'd like, that's all good. Yeah, use bolsters and cushions and things to help elevate the legs or the upper body, whatever you need. Moving into this mindful meditation, perhaps even just contemplating your practice, knowing that you did your best. Vashisthasana, the pose of excellence. Stay right where you are. No need to move just yet. If your mind began to wander, you started to think about other things, just be aware of that thought, set it to the side, and just take a deep breath in and out as a way to return to this moment. Stay in the present. And once again, return to the awareness of your breath. This time, taking 5 slow, deep breaths. The intention is to bring a new energy back into your body. Starting to feel movement return to your body. Meanwhile, staying fully present. Sometime after your 5th breath, carefully and slowly roll to one side of your body, just moving into a nurturing pose, maybe a breath or two here, and just a reminder to yourself that you did your best today and you took care of yourself today. When you're ready, still move in slow motion and guide your way up to seated. Feeling nice and tall and proud in your seat. Your hands might just be resting in your lap or on your knees, or you can bring hands to heart center. And wherever you are, just taking one more full and complete breath in and out. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow saying, Namaste. Namaste.
Thank you so much for watching and participating in this yoga lesson. To help us with the channel so we can continue to bring you more content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated. Namaste.